When I first got injured, obviously like everybody does, I wanted to walk again, and I expected to walk again, and I thought I would. But if you never get to where you're walking again, the best thing to do is be the best person you can be in the position you're in. And that's what I chose to do. I focused on getting stronger and getting in shape. Like every day after therapy, most patients would go out on the patio and sit around, talk, chat, smoke cigarettes, whatever. I stayed in there and I did 10 laps forwards around my square and 10 laps backwards. And I remember all those guys would laugh at me like, look at that Burns guy in there doing circles. But I knew if I got stronger, I'd be able to do transfers better. I'd be able to do weight shifts better. I'd be able to, pick my chair up and put it in the car. If I couldn't walk again, I would be the best person in the wheelchair I could be. I remember my first night home, I said, I want to go out and go push my wheelchair somewhere. And our chairs back then we had the big 65-pound clunkers. I remember I pushed down to the stop sign 3 houses away. I couldn't make it back. My brother helped get me back. Next night I got the stop sign about halfway back. Third night, stop sign all the way back. Yes. There's so many little things you have to learn when you're first injured that you don't even think about when you're injured. All you're thinking about when you're first injured is, I just want to start walking again. I wasn't able to get dressed by myself. I needed help getting dressed every day and getting in the shower every day and getting all that stuff done. So what I decided I wanted to do, I wanted to be independent. So I'd lay the stuff out when I come in. The night before, I'd lay stuff out by the side of the bed, what I was going to be using the next day. So the next morning, I'm putting on underwear, I'm putting on a pair of pants, I'm putting on socks, I'm putting on shoes. It would take 30, 45 minutes just to get dressed. I remember my dad said the hardest thing he would do was walk past my room and not stop and help me. But he knew if he stopped and helped me, I would never get independent. He said sometimes he'd walk past my room, go in the living room, and sit there and cry. Because he knew he could help me, I'd get it done in 3 minutes. But like I say, I'd never get independent. So, what took 45 minutes, eventually took 30 minutes, eventually took 20 minutes, and then, eventually got to where I was doing it fast. Setting these goals for myself helped me in a number of different ways. Not only was I setting goals to get stronger, but I wanted to be able to drive again. So I bought a car. I wasn't able to drive it yet. I was able to drive it. Driving was the easy part, but loading my wheelchair in the car was tough. So I'm pulling a 65-pound chair in with one arm. That took a long time to be able to get strong enough to do that. But I tried it every single day. I'd go out and practice it. I'd practice like 2 hours in my driveway till I was worn out. But eventually I got to where I could do it. I was very fortunate to have a lot of good friends. I got injured when I was 20. I was injured in Orlando where I'd gone to high school, I'd gone to college, I'd worked. So I had my high school friends, I had my college friends, I had my work friends. You go through, different phases when you get injured, and some of the phases of like depression and different things, I didn't really have to go through because they didn't really allow me to go through it. I started feeling sorry for myself. They kicked me in the butt and said, come on, Bert, let's go, we're going. So I'm going out, with my high school friends one night, college friends one night, fraternity friends one night, work friends one night, and got to where I was partying too much. I couldn't do a lot of things that we used to do. I couldn't go play flag football. I couldn't go shoot basketball. I couldn't play baseball with them. But I could drink a beer. I could still do that. And so I got to where I was doing that too much. And didn't really stop until my dad kicked me out of the house. So I went to live with my mom. I continued down the road I was on, and then Mom kicked me out. I'm like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen now? I'm not independent yet, and I got kicked out of Mom's house and Dad's house. I went kind of groveling back to my dad and said, all right, take me back, I'll change my ways. And that's when I really saw that I had to change my ways. And if I wanted to get back into real life, I had to start it right then. I had a really good recreation therapist, and she knew I really loved sports, and I couldn't play the sports I used to play. I wasn't gonna be able to play basketball, baseball, football again. But she introduced me to a couple different sports and people that did the sports. I remember I met a guy named Brad Parks. He was the best wheelchair tennis player in the world at that time. And Brad came to our rehab center and met us. And I duct taped a tennis racket in my hand, and as long as you hit the ball right to me in one spot, I could hit it back. It's the first wheelchair sport I saw. Getting back involved and being surrounded by people who had some of your same goals is awesome to do. And whether it be sports or whether it be a hobby, wherever it is, seeing other people that have been in chairs longer than you have, you can see what they've accomplished and where they're going, what they've done in life. You can see like, wow, that is possible for me. A recreation therapist made such a big impact in my life. I wanted to become a recreation therapist and do what she did and help people. I go down to Shepherd Center here in Atlanta and talk to new injuries, and I show them life's not over, it's just different. And so I'm talking to a 6 or 7-year-old kid, and it's in a wheelchair, and he says he sees somebody, an adult in a wheelchair that can do all kinds of things, and I'm like their hero. Being able to be that for somebody was so gratifying to me. I get more gratification out of me doing the peer sport than they get out of me helping them. So it's a win-win for both of us. You got to decide what you're going to do in life. And you kind of got two choices. You can go home and say life sucks, and it will. Or you can say these are cards I was dealt, and I'll play them the best I can. Do that, you'll do okay. Just getting involved in life and just becoming independent, it was a big thing. And the more I accomplished my goals, the more goals I set and accomplished more.